In this video, we're going to be talking about how to start an LLC in Florida, the necessary filings and documents, what to do if you get rejected, the state compliance that you have to do on a regular basis, and tax election options once you have formed your LLC in the state. So, in order to open a bank account, we consider everything you need to be these three things. This is the holy trinity of things, of filings and documents you need to open a bank account. So, this is what we consider to be necessary. So you need the state filing, the actual filing you make with the state, then the EIN. This is a filing you make with the IRS. And then finally, something you have to do on your own is get the necessary legal documents. In an LLC, it's called an operating agreement. So these are the three things that you need. The first thing, the Florida LLC filing is called the Articles of Organization. That is the name of the filing. That is what you're going to get back from the state. It costs $125. You file it online. The effective date rules are 90 days in the future. Let's say it's October 15th and you want to file your LLC and you want to start January 1st. You can file it today and set your effective date or your start date as January 1st, so as long as it's within 90 days. The turnaround time is roughly 7 business days. This can be longer. Maybe there's a flu that sweeps through the state examiner's office, or there's something else that happens. So it can take longer, so plan ahead, but 7 business days is the advertised time. Name selection. Basically, common sense type stuff. You can't be Amazon LLC in Florida because Amazon already has that. You can't use someone else's name. It's got to be your name. It's got to be a unique name that doesn't match anybody else's. And you can't have something like incorporated in the name of an LLC. You can't be LLC Tile Incorporated LLC because that's a corporation, not an LLC. Registered agent. Basically, you need an in-state Florida address that's not a P.O. box where you can accept mail in person from Monday through Friday, normal business hours, 9 to 5. This is a requirement that the state of Florida has. It also is privacy protection. So if you don't want your home address listed on the state's website, if you've got disgruntled customers, you want to use a third-party registered agent. Better Legal provides this service. The delivery is via email. So once the state is done filing, they will email you your articles of incorporation. Your articles of organization. If you get rejected, let's say you pick a name that someone else has and they reject you, you just take the tracking number that they give you and the PIN and you refile, and that's it. It is non-refundable, so you can't get that $125 back. Once you start, you can't stop. You just have to refile. Your state compliance is called the annual report. Just to run the business and keep it active in the state of Florida, you pay $138.75 every year to the state. That is due May 1st of every year. You can file between January 1st and May 1st of every year, but it is due on May 1st. Once you have your state filing back from the state via email, once you have it in hand and it is approved, that is when you get your employer identification number. Even if you are not employing anybody, you still need an employer identification number. It is the social security number of your business. And the reason you do it after you get the approval is because let's say you get rejected for a name with the state, but you've already filed your EIN under the name that you thought you were going to have, and they don't match. That is a problem. So you do this only after you do the previous step. The reasons you want to do this is so you can pay taxes to the IRS, so you can open a bank account. The bank account is going to require that you give them an EIN, and to file or provide a W-9 to someone that you're working for. If you are a vendor for someone, oftentimes they'll say, you've got to fill out this W-9 so we can file it with the IRS. And if you don't want to put your social security number on that document, you use your EIN instead. You cannot carry this over. So if you've been a sole proprietor for years and you've had an EIN and you start an LLC in Florida, you cannot use that EIN for the new business. New business, new EIN. Finally, your legal documents. This is often overlooked. In an LLC, this is called the operating agreement. It defines the operators and the owners of the business. No state filing or anything proves ownership. This document does. And it provides the rules of the business. You might not be a sole person in the business forever. You might have investors later. And so you're going to need to have an expandable document that protects you legally over time. Do not skip out on this. Do not download a free document. Get it from a lawyer. We provide it with your order with Better Legal. Finally, the tax election. The default, if you are a single member LLC, is a sole proprietor. This is with the IRS. This has nothing to do with anything else. If you are 2 or more people, you automatically become a partnership. The IRS does not have a classification for an LLC. So this is why they use these other things. If you want to be an S Corp or a C Corp, this is an actual physical election you make with the IRS. 2 months and 15 days from the date of formation, about 75 days after formation, so within that window, or the first 2 months and 15 days of every calendar year after that. So every year, let's say you start off and you're not really making any money for the first couple of years, but then one year you're knocking it out of the park, you can file, you can do the S Corp election within the first 2 months and 15 days in the new year. So that's everything you need to know to file an LLC in the state of Florida. Check in the description for more information, but that's it.